Yeah, very good morning to all of you, dear students. Today we are going to talk about topic analysis of a binary or a multi-component system by UV visible spectroscopy. To understand the chapter, basically prerequisites are required. For better clarity, we should know what is theory behind UV visible spectrophotometer, various concepts related to UV visible spectroscopy, such as bathochromic shift, hypsochromic shift, hyperchromic, hypochromic shift, Lambert's-Beer's law, derivation of Lambert-Beer's law, limitation of Lambert-Beer's law. So by considering all this background, we will get more clarity on this topic, that is analysis of a binary or a multi-component system by UV visible spectroscopy. So whatever the sequence we will follow, first of all, we will try to understand problems of selectivity, means on what background we should analyze component or mixture, whatever we are analyzing on UV visible spectroscopy. Either it will be single component or maybe multi-component. Then we will talk about background correction, then binary mixture analysis, various types such as type 1, type 2 and type 3. In that we will learn simultaneous equation method and absorbance ratio method, and try to understand difference and derivative spectroscopy. Moving forward, we will try or explore the concept of problems of selectivity. The simplest way of checking whether the system under investigation is really a single component system from the spectrometric aspects is to record the spectra of the pure component. That is a standard. As you are observing in this diagram, that is a normal peak for the standard, whatever the A peak we are considering, and B represents a distorted peak for the sample in the UV spectrum. So in this case, a standard and the sample to be analyzed, or to confirm that the determination of an analyte doesn't include contribution by other substances. So as shown in figure, if the two spectra are similar, but the spectrum of the sample is distorted to a certain extent relative to the standard, a background problem is probably responsible. So at present, you just consider background is nothing but the peaks due to impurities present in our substance or the components, whatever we are analyzing. And such kind of the peaks are reflecting on a spectra, that is called as a background. We will explore that concept in upcoming slides. So whatever the background is responsible, which makes the direct analysis of a system as a single component system impossible, but with the use of the mathematical methods, that is background correction or other methods. there is a chance for a solution of an appropriate precision. If a well-defined extra band occurs in the system, as we are observing in figure 2.48, a spectrum containing a peak for an analyte and an extra peak for the impurity, there is a possibility of another spectrometrically active component in the system. This problem can be solved by using a binary or a multi-component system analysis, or by using a derivative spectroscopy. Sometimes the sample solution contains compounds with similar chromophores, as we will take this case study right now. For example, prednisolone is manufactured by dehydrogenation of hydrocortisone. There is a difference of only one double bond in their structures, as you are observing in this structure. So one double bond gets added over here after dehydrogenation of hydrocortisone. There is a difference of only one double bond in their structures. Under this condition, the spectra of both the compounds closely resemble each other, or they overlap because they have a very similar absorption coefficients. Hence, even when the spectrum of the sample contains one normal peak, there is no guarantee that the system is a single component system. Consequently, the selectivity of a direct spectrometric methods should always be evaluated. And in the majority of cases, it is insufficient. To improve the situation, either selective absorption is produced by means of chemical reactions, or the spectrometric measurement is made preceding the chromatographic separation. Now we will try to understand background correction methods. In the spectrometric analysis of a drugs, often there is an interference encountered due to absorption from other sources. This may be due to the presence of one or more substances which can produce spectra almost overlapping with the spectrum of an analyte. Hence, the measurement of the absorbance of the component of interest cannot be carried out directly. So under this situation, the spectrum of an analyte is readily recognizable in the spectrum of the sample, but it is more or less distorted. So the featureless and the unstructured spectrum, due to the presence of impurities superimposed on a spectrum of an analyte, is called the background. The effect of absorption by the impurities on the absorption of an analyte is called the background effect. So the presence of the background may be due to number of reasons. For example, in case of plant extracts, along with the active component, many other impurities like starch, saponins, tannins, etc. are also get extracted. The presence of such impurities can be the source of a background in a case of substances like alkaloids, flavonoids, essential oils, etc. The products of animal origin like insulin also get contaminated due to the accompanying substances of the biological sample. Such impurities form a background for the spectrum of the active substances. In case of drugs like penicillin or other antibiotics, which are manufactured by the process of fermentation, a similar situation may occur. The impurities from the fermentation broths, mother liquors, or raw products can form the background in this case. In case of pharmaceutical formulations, such as tablets, ointments, or injections, the active ingredient is extracted along with the impurities, such as excipients of tablets, base of an ointment, and the oil component of the injection products. These extracted substances form the background in this case. And one more reason for the background is that an active principle of the pharmaceutical preparation produces a spectrum of relatively low intensity. And one of the excipients in the formulation present in a large excess produces a well-defined spectrum. The interference due to the background absorption can be eliminated by the advanced techniques like derivative spectrometry and difference spectrometry. In addition, there are also simpler techniques available which have the common features that measurements are performed at other wavelengths as well as at the absorption maximum for an analyte, and the background corrections are done mathematically. A number of methods are used to correct the background method or maybe the background effect, such as baseline method, simple algebraic geometric methods, the method of orthogonal polynomials, and the compensation method. Now, moving forward, we will talk on a point different methods for the analysis of a multi-component system. A number of drug formulations contain more than one active principle to be determined. Analysis of a mixture containing two or more components can be carried out in two ways. Either we can separate the components and then analyze them individually, or analyze the components in a presence of each other without carrying out prior separation. That is called as spectrometric measurements. The first method provides more sensitive and selective separation method, but it may involve longer time. Moreover, the separation method may not be very simple. Whereas on the other hand, the analysis of components in a presence of each other involves spectrometric determination, which is faster, but may involve complicated calculations. For mixtures containing more than two components, many simultaneous equations are generated, solving of which involves complicated calculations. And this can be done routinely only by means of computers. For mixtures containing two components, also lengthy calculations are involved. The spectrometric measurements of multi-component system is principally possible because the absorbance is an additive property in the concentration region usually applied in the UV visible spectrometry. So at a given wavelength, for a system containing several species, the measured absorbance is the sum of the absorbances of the individual species. For the simultaneous determination of several components, all these components are required to be available in the pure form. Similarly, lambda max values of the pure components and their specific absorbance values at a lambda max are required to be known. Then analysis of a binary mixture. In the analysis of a binary mixtures, the spectra of both pure components are recorded first, and two lambda max values corresponding to the maximum absorption of both these compounds are determined. Then at the selected wavelengths, the specific absorbance values of both the components are determined. An analysis of a different types of binary mixtures that we will consider based on three different case studies. So let us have a focus here on a slide, that is binary mixture analysis type 1. In a binary system, it can so happen that two components absorb radiation of totally different wavelengths in the spectra, where there is no interference at all from each other in the absorption measurements. This situation we are getting here in this figure. In a mixture containing two compounds, that is X and Y, let compound X absorb maximum energy at a wavelength 1 and compound Y absorb maximum energy at a wavelength 2. So if AX lambda 1 is the absorbance of X at wavelength 1 and small AX lambda 1 is its specific absorbance, then to find its concentration, that is Cx, as per equation number 2.32. Similarly, the concentration of Y, that is Cy, can be found out from equation 2.33 by recording its absorbance, that is AY lambda 2 at wavelength 2, and by determining its specific absorbance, that is AY lambda 2. Thus, the concentration of the two components can be determined independently. So in practice, however, such a case occurs very rarely. We are analyzing mixtures and we got two separate peaks, and through easy way we are calculating concentration of component X and component Y, as simple as it is. Now in binary mixture analysis type 2, let us try to consider case over here. In most of the cases, it is observed that the spectra of the two components overlap in a part. Here in this diagram, you are observing a spectrum of a binary mixture, that is compound X absorbing at a wavelength 1 and compound X and Y both absorbing at a wavelength 2. Whereas in second case, actual appearance of the overlapping peaks for X and Y in their spectrum. Out of the two components X and Y, only X has an absorption at a wavelength 1, but at a wavelength 2, both X and Y gets absorbed. That is a conclusion. So in the spectrum of a mixture, the overlapping peaks at a wavelength 2 produce appearance as shown in this particular diagram. Isn't it? So in such a case, the concentration of X can be found out by recording its absorbance, that is AX lambda 1 at a wavelength 1. The absorptivity of X, that is AX lambda 1 at wavelength 1, can be found out if it is not known by the method such as slope method, or maybe through literature we can calculate the absorptivity of X, and then using equation 2.32, that is AX lambda 1 is equal to AX lambda 1 into B into CX, the concentration, that is the Cx of X, can be found out. To find the concentration of Y, that is Cy, the absorbance, that is AY lambda 2 at the wavelength 2 is recorded. At this wavelength, both the compounds X and Y absorb depending on their concentrations in the mixture. Since the absorbance is an additive property, the total absorbance, that is A lambda 2 of the mixture, can be written as the sum of the absorbances shown by X, that is AX lambda 2, as well as by Y, that is AY lambda 2 at wavelength 2. So the equation can be written as absorbance at a wavelength 2 is equal to absorbance of X at wavelength 2 plus absorbance of Y at wavelength 2. A lambda 2 absorbance at a wavelength 2 is equal to, same formula we can write over here, A is equal to ABC, means absorptivity value of X at wavelength 2 into B into Cx plus absorptivity value of Y at a lambda 2 into B into Cy. So in this equation 2.35, the value of A lambda 2 is known since net absorbance of the mixture at wavelength 2 is recorded. The absorptivities of X, that is AX lambda 2, and Y, AY lambda 2 at wavelength 2 can be found out. The concentration of X, that is the Cx, is also calculated using equation 2.33. AY lambda 2 is equal to AY lambda 2 into B into Cy. The path length is usually 1 centimeter. So in equation 2.35, all the terms except for the concentration of Y, that is Cy, are known, and hence Cy can be calculated. So in this way we have done binary mixture analysis type 1, binary mixture analysis type 2. Now in coming class we will talk about binary mixture analysis type 3. In that we will learn simultaneous equation method and absorption ratio method. So right now, as a part 1 of multi-component analysis by UV visible spectroscopy, we will take stop over here and see you in next class. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Happy learning.